Sign of the Times, episode 44. This episode from right across from an undisclosed train. Undisclosed train, which is riding the Bothell Red Brick Road. Bothell Red Brick Road. But you don't know what train that is. But it could be one that was used in the sound effects for the former Braun Strowman. He'd run around the ring and you'd hear choo choo, chugga 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 chugga, and he'd run into some guy. In his mind, he probably was writing that. Hopefully, at some point in time, we'll get pictures and footage of QT Vokes writing that as he yells, "Eek! Eek!" for the people that love the snaps. Here is my Decay t-shirt. Decay in all the title matches tonight. All 3 members in title matches. I'll be watching that on Impact Plus. Watching the Against All Odds show. Hopefully Phil Collins makes a cameo. And there's my man, Scatman Crothers. Big fan of Scatman Crothers. He was on the animated Harlem Globetrotters. He was on Chico and the Man. He was obviously a guest star on The Love Boat, one of the best episodes of all time. He got kind of looked down upon by Isaac and one of the other guests on the cruise, and by the end of the episode they changed their mind. They're like, Scatman Crothers is fantastic, he's a national treasure, which he is. There's Chicken Bob. Look at that, Chicken Bob, having recovered from his trip to Raleigh for gouge last week. He managed me, and then he co-managed with a monkey and an actual bulldog named Bentley the Brain Heenan. That was the bulldog's name. Maybe there'll be t-shirts later. And look at this. I got this. It is a signed newspaper article. There is myself and Danica De La Rouge. When we were in the newspaper together, I managed to get a copy of it somehow, some way. And now Danica has signed it for me. I'll hang that up in my home somewhere. I sure will. I had it framed, much to the chagrin of Stompin Steve. It is not museum quality glass, but it was an option I had. I opted not for the museum quality glass, but it'll be proudly displayed. People will see this, will say, "Oh, did Danica sign?" I'll say, yes, she did. And JB Moonshine t-shirt. I don't know if JB Moonshine's ever been on a show with Danica De La Rouge, but he may have. He was not on that particular show, the Thrilla and Tukwila show, but he may have been on a show with Danica at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask JB. Pamphlet for the Sign of the Time. Every show needs a pamphlet. Demon and Bunny coffee. Look at that. Rosemary on the shirt. There is her coffee. It's a big day for Rosemary. Current book I'm reading, Poke, a community acupuncturist tale by Stephen Knobler, Doctor of Acupuncture. He's a fine acupuncturist and a great diagnostician and an author of this great book. So there he is right there. You can pick this book up at bookstores or go to the Amazon if you really need to and pick it up there. Book I got for Petroff, if I ever see him again in my lifetime. It's looking less and less and less and less likely, but there's still a 14.836% chance I will see Petroff again at some point. The Prison Angel, which is what I got for QT out of a little free library, he might sit on that very choo-choo train right over there and read from this book while screaming "eek" at the same time in a future episode. That would be huge. Absolutely huge. I would almost pay to see that. The Twitter, where you can follow me, but not literally, much like Dave Dynasty does, and much like the Amazing Maria does. They both do. But not literally. I don't see Dave Dynasty ducking behind those choo-choo train wheels. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which you may be watching right now. Right about now, you're probably watching on the YouTube. And here's what it looks like inside the law office of Stephen P. New. Get even with Stephen if you will. Autographed picture of Seymour Schnott, proud member of the Gouge roster, as am I. Seymour Schnott was on that show with me last week. We were both in the Big Slam Memorial Redneck Rumble. Not at the same time, though, thanks to that dastardly Victor Andrews. He threw me right out of the ring. I got a picture of Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan coming back to the local Pacific Northwest scene very soon. Very, very soon. There's Paul Freak shining his buddy pal John Lennon. There's Paul and his protege, Wonderful Zach. Paul and the rest of the Freak Show. Paul and his niece, Casey Carlisle. You can get pictures like that at CaseyCarlisle.com. That's CaseyCarlisle.com. Home for all your gift giving needs. Flag Day's almost upon us. You can get some of those. Brian Alvarez's birthday's today. You could get Chico some of those. He'd probably love it. He'd probably write about you in the Figure 4 newsletter and say your gift was 5 stars. Especially if you got him some of those. Some of those available. Canada Day coming up. A lot of Canadians want to win some of those in their Canada Day gift bag. American Independence Day coming up. Some of those would be great. There she is, a little bit sultry. If you're smaller, like Short Sleeve Samson. QT's favorite, the pillow picture. There she is. Look at her with an entire wall of belts. Darkness, probably freaking out if he saw all those belts in a bag at the airport. He'd have to sneak her through the airport. There she is, a little bit angry. Other members of Team Bad News. Look at that. Amazing Maria, who loves macaroons. Cameron Starr, Troy Miller, whose birthday it is also, along with Chico Alvarez. He loves the Orange Spice Seattle chocolate bars. And Miss Liz. Probably wouldn't hurt Troy Miller's feelings if you sent him some Orange Spice Seattle chocolate bars, by the way. Speaking of bad knees, there's Ken Hamlin, who has a bad foot. I don't know Ken Hamlin's knee status, but his foot status, not the greatest. I don't know if maybe he'll start a bad foot club. People with bad feet will throw rocks through the McDonald's in Wisconsin. CAC program. CAC rapidly reapproaching. We might get the Canadians on board this year at the CAC. They might have the opportunity to get down without having to quarantine for 2 weeks automatically when they go home. We'll see as we get closer. This week, a busy, busy week. As I said, I'll be watching these guys decay in their championship quest at the Against All Odds pay-per-view on Impact Plus. Maybe Phil Collins will sing Rosemary to the Ring. We don't know. We'll find out. Sunday on Turnbuckle Turmoil, 2 big guests. We have Max Sterling and the man that's been managing him as he recovers from neck surgery, Pogo. Hopefully Pogo's eyes stay in the socket during the interview, but he's having trouble with that, so no guarantees that his eyes won't just bug completely out of his head in the most literal of sense. They might. On Monday, pretty much within 3. Tuesday, maybe I'll watch some old WCW Worldwide Wrestling. That'd be nice. Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura calling the action. That was a good time. On Wednesday, maybe I'll go for some sherbet somewhere. Maybe I'll get some sherbet. Thursday, pretty much open. On Friday on the show, we have Tim Horner Jr. Tim Horner Jr. coming to the show for the first time. He's out of Ohio. Could be a great time with him. Hopefully, QT folks will make it on time and there will be no chicanery from Thumbs Up Lansteen. So we'll find out. So to review from right across from that undisclosed train, which is set next to the Bothell Red Brick Road, which is a historical site. Sunday, I'll have recovered from watching the Against All Odds pay-per-view as we head into the interview on Turnbuckle with Pogo and Max Sterling. Randy Zillers will probably want to know if Max Sterling has ever teamed with Pogo, or if it's strictly been a manager-protege situation. QT will probably want to know where Pogo gets his face paint. I don't know. We'll find out. I just hope his eyes stay firmly in his head in their proper sockets. Monday, looking pretty free. Tuesday, maybe I'll watch some Worldwide Wrestling with Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura. On Wednesday, I think I'll go for some sherbet. Thursday, it's pretty open. And then Friday, we have Tim Horner Jr. So, without anything else to add, I believe, unless Chicken Bob has something. Chicken Bob? Nope, Chicken Bob has nothing more. So, 484.